Okay. Hello.
We do have Helen Million online.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming. This is the July Town of Ulen Board meeting. We'll call it to order. First order of business is approval of minutes.
I make a motion that we approve the June meeting minutes as presented.
Motion,
Second.
motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Need a signature.
Okay. June financial report.
Okay, June was a busy month. I filled up all my rows. We had monthly receipts of $53,188 and monthly disbursements of $120,844. A couple of big payments made and a couple of the last payment for the sign in front of the neighborhood. And then we also had a settlement check that was a little bigger than expected.
Oh, no.
Yeah, 22,000.
These are the minutes.
So our ending balance as of the end of June was $481,770. The council people, this colored document is right behind it. This is an end of the second quarter summary showing the beginning and ending balances of all of our funds. And also where we're doing in our appropriated budgets to show you where the encumbrance was carried over. And how much we've got remaining. And as we look at the budget sheets later in the meeting, this might be helpful for you.
Okay. Vouchers.
Vouchers. Okay, here's one for Jennifer for some postage.
It was the renewal of the PO box.
Yeah, were you able to reach out to them to see if we could switch it over?
What do you want it to go? Well, I don't have the credit card, so I don't know what to switch it to. Can I
Well,
at least get that?
Maybe I can go with you and they'll.
Okay.
Make it my list.
Either that or just if you can give me the card information, if I can go down
Okay.
to the post office
I
and
didn't know
say
whether it was
switch
something
it.
you did it online or you had to go face to face.
Well, the problem is I have two PO boxes because I have my own personal one. And I think I don't think we have a separate log on, so I don't know if it'll let me
We
switch.
can talk about that. All right.
Trash service.
Yeah, this was just a fee that state bank charged us for transferring the money, to. Utilities.
Did we wire it? Is that what we did or?
That's the only way they would let me send it.
Oh, okay.
This was the voucher for the check that I paid, Josh Anderson for the materials. Does not include,
Yeah, materials only. And he paid it. Or he cashed
it. Yes, he did. I checked on that.
Okay, that was what we asked about earlier today. So we don't need to sign that.
Well, I mean, you can sign for this first 1,000.
Oh,
I can do the other half.
Is Lebanon, it's
We've always-
quarterly, right? Lebanon Utilities?
It's quarterly.
Okay. And this is for the fire hydrants?
And the electricity, there's two of them.
Okay.
Electricity for the,
So we pay $2,500 a quarter just for the fire hydrants. Okay.
it offsets the good deal we're getting on
the fire.
services.
Okay. That might be how they,
We found out it was a good deal.
this is what we've already signed.
Well, I'll hold it if you want.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's.
and it was for,
This was Josh, the center.
oh, Josh's, but he hasn't done repairs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now he needs to come back out and get us a second quote.
It's been a long time. What did he say?
We haven't got hold of it
He
yet.
hasn't responded,
Really?
which is unlike him.
Yeah. We got a small invoice from our camera services guy. They had to come out and service one of the cameras a couple of weeks ago.
That was for the club, wasn't it?
Yeah, but our contract says we pay for the camera repair, they pay for the computers and the internet.
Okay.
connection. So it's us.
Okay,
I looked it up to be sure.
okay. She knew I was gonna.
I did. This is the, Green Acre first invoice.
Okay,
This was for our subscription to 1Password, which Rob helped me install, and he's gonna work, just so you know, next, Monday, he's gonna start transitioning the email boxes over, so we'll let you know if there's gonna be any disruption there. And then we should talk about how we all can use this, because this is a camera plan, so we can all use it.
The one pass, yes.
This is the bill, from Taylor Manette, Schneider and Claire. Actually, there's two in here. There's one that
Bob,
is older that I didn't have this. This one is Microsoft. That's the business version of Dynamics 365 and Microsoft Exchange system.
It's, I'm complaining, there's a, people just keep saying, ton of money, you don't have any resolution on any of the center local stuff.
we're working on it, we're waiting on them. I mean, there's nothing we can do. I mean, we've talked to them, we're waiting on them.
Okay. I mean, this is from March.
Yeah, that was when we met. Yeah. And went through everything with them. And we were supposed to hear an answer.
Do we need to go and be like in the public comments?
Well, I
Get
mean,
it
we'll
on
know,
there.
we'll talk about it, yeah, that may be the next step. Is that it?
That is it for bachelors.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next thing on the agenda was,
Let's go with Bob, since he's
yeah,
here.
I've got the three ordinances are first up here.
Okay, so the next thing on the agenda is the ordinances that we talked about the last board meeting, and Bob's kind of got an update on those and maybe the finalized version for us. One of them is, where do you want to start?
Let's start with animal control, that's probably.
Animal
control. With this.
Okay, animal control.
And,
I don't know.
2018, the Board of Commissioners adopted. The animal control ordinance after extensive working debate. This, I remember, because it's part of that, went through multiple hearings and iterations, consultation with other counties, municipalities, the Indiana State Board of Health, Animal Health. And I guess most importantly is section 93.02 states that the ordinance shall apply to all incorporated and unincorporated parts of the county unless or until a municipality within the county adopts the ordinance for prohibiting enforcement. So it does apply to you.
Okay.
I did talk to Jeremy McLean, Captain McLean at the Sheriff's Office, who oversees the Animal Control Division. He said, yeah, absolutely. If you guys have animal control issues, call us and we'll send somebody out. They do have one full-time animal control officer. Sometimes he's on vacation or otherwise indisposed. And when often Jeremy or somebody else will respond, but if you have an animal control issue, definitely call them. And I know that the biggest question was animals running loose, and there's a specific provision, section D. Says that it shall be unlawful for any owner or possessor of any domestic animal to allow such animal to run at large, whether wearing a collar and tags or not, with any incorporated area of the county. So if there's an animal running at large outside of their property limits, you can feel free to call them. And then there is a second provision shortly after that, that if they go off the property, they have to be on a leash. So, and Jeremy was quite clear. He said, if you guys have any issues whatsoever, call dispatch and they'll send somebody out right away.
When we talked about this, we didn't want to be involved in patrolling animals in the neighborhoods.
Are you talking to me?
No, I'm talking.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Well, you're the one.
I have things to read.
Yeah.
And I would like to address it, but
Yeah.
I'll wait. I don't know if you want me to wait for public comment or what you want, so.
I guess I'm looking at you because you called me on it.
Yeah.
And so- and
I
so-
will know two things.
Yeah, so the first, well, we're talking about this, we just didn't want to have to patrol it. And so Bob said, well, there's an ordinance and there is a person in the county that does this. And so we said,
So
well,
anyone's dogs off their leash, we just call animal control, they'll come get them. Anybody's dog.
they'll come and,
If they're off the property.
yeah,
No, that's exactly right.
Yeah, that's what's cats that are kind
yeah,
of.
yeah.
And it applies to
Right,
cats
yeah,
too.
yeah,
It
yeah,
does.
there's a lot
Any
of
domestic
cats.
animals.
Cause I just let a lot of people's dogs, that
Same.
helped a lot of people before, it just seems. I was singled out in the last meeting, so that's why. I don't know if you want me to read this now, but I've prepared something, cause I don't wanna get.
Yeah, go
And
ahead.
it has to do with two things. One, I was wanting an update, cause I'd asked you last time we talked, I told you that. I mean, you guys all know my house floods, and everybody's house in here floods, but there's been severe neglect to the town of Ulen's drainage. Period, point, I mean, so I'm just gonna read this, and that's okay, so. I wanted to find out, were you able to call somebody to suck out the,
I have not gotten anybody to that will do that yet, but I have called a few people to try to get somebody.
okay, so I'd asked about that.
He asked, and it's one of the, on our agenda for tonight was to talk about that, about sucking. We have drains that have a lot of rock and a lot of debris in them, and one of them,
Completely clogged. So just to be, I'll just go ahead and read. So we sat here a year ago, and I've brought it up several times, but we sat here a year ago and we spent money for Westler to come in. So on 7/22/25, Brad from Westler spoke about the main lines and said, we have a capacity issue. That's the professionals we hire brought in here. Brad quoted, we tried to see if there was any laterals tied to the main. We couldn't get a camera in there because there was so much sediment in the storm drain. This will cause a capacity issue. So what is a capacity issue? Capacity means the system can't handle the volume of water it's being asked to move or hold. Usually shows up during heavy rain or peak flow, not necessarily day to day. Every time it rains, you can guarantee my house is gonna flood. I've spent almost 30,000, and I'll get into that. When storm drains are filled with sediment, they effectively lose a significant portion of their design carrying capacity. Even though the pipe itself may be, say, 24 inches in diameter, it's got 8 to 10 inches of sediment sitting in the bottom. The water can only flow through the reduced open space above that. Reduced flow capacity. So water that used to pass through freely now has less room to move. So during moderate to heavy rain, the drain reaches its reduced capacity much faster than it should. So backup surcharging, once the sediment narrows the pipe, once the sediment narrowed, pipe can't keep up with the incoming water. The water has nowhere to go but back up through the catch basins, manholes, or upstream inlets. If your property's drainage, yard drains, downspout, sub pump discharge ties into the same system, the backup can push the water towards your foundation or basement and crawl space instead of away from it. Even if you don't see flooding during the storm itself, sediment clogged drains take longer to clear. Standing water afterward, which means that the closer to your home's foundation is going to be, the longer accessing time to seeping. It's basically going to seep into the walls. Increased pressure of the private drainage line. If your home's water, sewer, lateral, or sump pump discharge line connects to the municipal storm system, that's already running near capacity due to sediment, water can back up into your line rather than draining out, particularly during heavy rains. Everybody in Ulen's had this problem. I've said things several times. My basement's flooded. I've asked numerous times for people to look into the city, whether it's we get them to come out and redo the sewer, the storm lines. It's just gone on deaf ears. It cost me a lot of money. So The core issue, sediment doesn't just reduce capacity, it changes where excess water goes when the system can't keep up. And where it goes is often the path of least resistance, which can unfortunately be towards or into your nearby home. So my request as of today, we put in around $30,000 of our own money trying to fix the flooding into my house every time a large rainstorm happens. Given the negligence of the town of Ulen and inability to maintain their storm drains after being notified over a year ago by the Westwood Group, at the town meeting, I would ask the town of Ulen consider reimbursing me for damages I've incurred and appreciate your consideration in this matter. So that's for that.
But that goes into the pet.
So the pet thing, people wondered why my pet got out. So I'm just gonna read this, but I will say, because of all the stuff I've done in my yard, my pet got out because my damn line was cut. And I tried to fix it numerous times, but I can't fix it until it's done. So I'm not gonna continue to let my house flood and everybody ignore it. So I'd like to start by saying that I really thought I knew everybody in Ulen, and this event has shown me otherwise. Not one single person in this room came to me and told me that my dog had gotten out. Not one of
Not
them.
one.
Instead, everyone came to the town meeting and specifically named me, and not one single person had the decency to come talk to me about it. How did everyone in Ulen know about it and speak at the meeting, and I didn't know about it? Everybody had known about this. I mean, everybody is chattering about it. I didn't even know. We
But it
didn't
went
know
through-
the dog got out.
There are so many versions of this.
And there are a million versions. Dog was bleeding, dog got bit somebody else. None of that's true. So, I was in Pennsylvania working during the last meeting and couldn't attend because the meeting had been moved to a different date. In that meeting, there were serious accusations made regarding our dogs that were completely exaggerated and false, specifically saying my dog is attacking people. Who did my dog attack and bite? Do you guys know?
Because no one's told us.
I think you need to talk to Charlotte Franzen.
Well, that's another new name.
There's
that's-
another new name.
That's
That's
what we're
interesting.
talking about.
You know, everybody likes to talk in their little cliques, but not one person came up to me and said, Zach, your dog got out. Zach, what can we do? What's
Margie,
wrong with your fence?
it was Margie's dog.
Correct. Like you guys know about it, but no.
Everybody knew about it, but nobody has.
Well, we didn't know about
I
it.
didn't
We
even
didn't know
know
about
it.
it till last
You
meeting.
guys came to the meeting and brought me up specifically.
It came up at the
No,
meeting.
It
We
came up
didn't
at a
bring it
meeting.
up.
We
Bring
didn't
it
know
to the
anything
meeting.
about it.
We didn't bring this to the meeting.
Okay.
It came up at the meeting.
Yeah, okay. So yeah. So in that meeting, yeah, you guys made a lot of false accusations, specifically saying my dog was attacking people. So how many times has my dog gotten out? You know, I want to know if you guys say that. So in the last meeting, you know, you guys had said that the last thing you want to do is go and confront a dog, you know, someone's dog. Why not reach out to me and let me know? Hey, Zach, your dog got out. Hey, Zach. Hey, bud. I've lived here since 2012, lived in Lebanon all my life, know everybody. And not one person had the sack to come up and tell me. So if we go with the new county ordinance, that will apply to everybody whose dog is out in their owner's property. So if I were to find someone's dog out of their fence, then I could simply call animal control and tell them to come get the dog instead of helping or letting the owner know. In the past, I would simply get the dog that is loose and take it to the owner or put it back in their fence. If there was a problem with someone or their animal, I would reach out to the owner and let them know so they were aware.
We just
And none of that
really
happened.
respect your consideration. It's really.
Unknown caller.
And this is my recollection of last meeting. Sorry, it's been.
I just went back and watched them all today and got all the facts. from Western
Somebody-
Group that we paid.
Somebody brought up a last meeting about an issue with some animals. And yes, yours was named and your dog, but there were several cats that were named.
Not the
I
last
didn't hear
meeting, not one thing
any
about a
about
cat. All I
And
had
it
to do
wasn't
with the dog.
in the meeting, it was.
I mean, I could go back and
because it
look
was-
at a vicious young dog that was attacking people.
Yes.
Cause he specifically, Mr.
Okay.
Clutter specifically.
Like I said,
was-
I can't remember the whole
Well, we
scenario.
did, so that's.
I mean, I did.
We went back to
Yeah.
everything
If
and
you have
that's why
questions,
we
I'm happy to
prepared,
answer.
All right.
but no one talked to us.
I just, because I want to go back and give a little bit more history, I think, on this is. For the most part, everything has been working really well. I think most people, my dogs have gotten out too.
I put your dogs back in.
Yes.
And I've had,
When my invisible
and
fence was.
I've had calls on her dog and we brought it up at the meeting.
And this started theoretically with
Help her get it.
the German Shepherd down by the bridge. because
Why
it's
was that
attached.
mentioned?
Yes.
It has.
It
and
It
that-
has,
that's-
it has.
It has been, I mean, not,
And maybe not in the meeting, that meeting, but maybe it was the meeting before, but we've talked about it extensively.
and it's not on an invisible fence. It's that the owner was just letting it out.
I'm
And
okay
it was,
getting on people's wall.
yeah,
Yes.
And so we,
And Marty.
We've taken him back to his house as
About
well.
that previously, the
But
postman
the-
wasn't even delivering there.
yeah, the postman stopped delivering there, so they put a mailbox that's illegal. That we have to go through a variance now to
That's
get.
how the whole process started.
So this wasn't just, I guess, last meeting, it's been going on, oh, well,
It's been going.
Jason Jones
for 4
called me
years.
for probably 6 months ago on, when, about her dogs barking and other dogs
But
barking.
you got a call about it. We didn't find out about it.
No, I
We went
talked to her
listen.
about it at the-
We listened.
Especially when you're,
So the-
everybody here is saying my dog attacked them, I mean, now it's Charlotte,
wait,
that's
wait, wait,
Charlotte's.
we didn't say that.
No,
We
Where
didn't.
did it come from?
Margie Walters was attending this meeting, or the previous board
Right.
meeting. It was her dog that was attacked.
Attacked.
it was her dog. It
That
was
was-
not.
I think that was
she
her
Very
words.
specific.
I-
It was ours.
in her mouth.
Well, how did it attack the dog? Was it bleeding? Did it bite it?
It did bite it.
That's a different story than what Margie told my dad.
Yeah.
Margie said it never bit the dog, she just.
Didn't
shipped it away.
break the skin is what she,
It what?
is what she said.
Yeah, so there's
It
three
didn't
different
break the
versions.
skin.
That came from straight from Margie to my dad. So who's telling the truth? I just feel like I'd like to be singled out.
So-
All we wanted to do was say, as a board, we don't wanna police this.
Completely
because
understandable.
I don't mind calling and saying, hey, your dog's out, or hey, your cat's running, but at the same time, I want the people, I'm not always around, they're not always around. If somebody in the community has an issue, we just want an ordinance to say, hey, you're welcome, animal control is your solution for the community.
And it's not our ordinance, it's the county.
I mean, if you're gonna police e-bikes and have the right to say something to people about e-bikes, wouldn't you have the right to, as a
Well,
board,
that's why I
to
say,
say
you know,
something about a
our-
dog? that
our hope
my
is-
dog's out?
Our hope is we're putting these ordinances in place so the right people can police it. So if we have, if something happens, with the e-bikes, that we have the police involved to deal with those that.
And
I'm not trying to chase a kid around on a bike and tell him, hey. So I apologize. I'll be the first to apologize that your name got brought up. And I hope, it wasn't maliciously. It was just the fact that it was your dog. And we've had the guy at the end, his dog got brought up. We've had cats from,
There are multiple cats
yeah,
that
I
are
mean,
roaming.
over the last 6 months, we've had her dogs get brought up. So we've had multiple people, animals, and I mean, there's only 50 some people houses, so.
And I think I think you bring up a good point, which is what's the best way to deal with it, that starts with a low escalation,
Yeah.
Yes.
intervention. I mean, maybe one of the things we could do, we've talked about, sending out, regular communications, explaining what these new ordinances mean. Maybe the message there is, first of all, try and contact the owner and see if there's a way to solve this easily. If it's really a dangerous situation or you're really concerned, then you call animal control. I mean, maybe there's a way we can.
I think
speed the
that's the
process.
point of it, it's just that
Yeah.
animal control in that new ordinance is totally fine, but
But
the
it's not,
fact that
keep in
no
mind,
one.
well, it's not our
no-
ordinance, this is Boone County.
That's okay, but that's not my
Okay.
point, like, I just wanna go back to the fact that like, everybody knew about this but us. There was no decency and no respect of a conversation with us as the dog owners about what had happened. Every other person in this entire neighborhood
It has.
knows about it, and every story is different. So like, if we wanna go back to just grassroots, like, yeah, where is the conversation with the owner? Because where's the decency and the neighborly everything? I'm fine with animal control. I have no problem with that. And I will be the first to say it. And I take Pablo and Willow very seriously. I will cry. Like I take it very serious. I don't want them getting out. Pablo sounds very angry, but he's not. And nobody else knows that. And that's not your problem. That's mine. So when I hear that he is getting out of our yard, I had no idea about it. And everybody's talking about it. And now it's an issue. And it was brought up before you guys declared an ordinance. We're being made it like an example. So to me, we are being very called out for it. We're the very last final example for the ordinance to be an issue, like something that you guys are gonna run with. So I just asked for like, Where's the conversation? That's what really sucks about what just happened with that whole Pablo situation. We never even knew about it. We have to come here to even talk about
I
it.
say something in defense. You guys were not the instigator of this ordinance, it was the German Shepherd, believe me.
We have a German Shepherd too, but like,
But
that's
it was
why the
not-
way it was framed up in the last meeting, like, that's how this came
Yeah.
up, that's how it's framed up.
Yours was the.
I was
yours
explaining,
was not, yeah, this
that's
was,
how this came across to us.
yeah, I think that was intentional and coincidental to a large extent, and I'm sure.
And I think everybody
Communication could
recognizes
have been
that
obviously a
you
lot
have
better.
yard work being
But
done.
it- but
Well, and I take it
this was,
because
this
it's my
was not
job.
based upon your dogs, believe me.
Yeah.
Because Kelly, she texts me every time she starts our street, just so I can pull our dogs in, so that it doesn't cause a scene. I take it super serious. I work from home, so like those are my kids. So when they get out and I don't know anything about it, that is alarming to me. And the fact that everybody knew about it but me, just really, just didn't sit well.
Understood.
I
Yeah,
have to say,
no,
I
it's
think
like-
my interpretation of the meeting, I thought you guys were there.
Mm.
And so that, I mean, that was a misunderstanding, I know on my part. That I thought when it happened,
No,
the way it was described at the meeting was that you guys were
Was
there.
that you were
Had no-
there?
That you were
We
there.
were
Yeah,
down.
I'd have been out of
We didn't
town,
know.
but
The
that
dog
you
came
were-
down,
Okay.
we had no idea that anything happened, nobody said a word, we.
people walking, that no one said a word. The same people, Margie was there, never came up to me and said a thing to me.
We had.
She passes our house every day, wave, we talk, and the fact that it never came up in a conversation from her after that point and just hearing about it at the board meeting. And everybody else, and there's a different version from every person, it's just disappointing to hear. So like, we're handling it, it's been handled, like, he's not gotten out, knock on wood, but like. It's just disappointing, so, and also in the response, like, if we didn't, the fence would have been operating if the basement was not flooded, for us to have to excavate our entire front yard for months, when it's been an issue for years in this town, so that's why.
So that's part of the reason too, why. I finished with, we put a lot of money into this and. Again, I'll let you guys sit on what you think you need to be, what could be done to help us out for what we've spent and, I mean. I don't know, I think if you go back and you look at these meetings. I mean, the guy from Westler flat out said it, and I've said it, I don't know how many days ever since that. They've been completely neglected, and when that happens, it's gonna flood everyone's house, and so everybody thinks that putting cement and holes out here in their basement and things like that's gonna do it. All it's gonna do is just stop it and go to the next person's house. And I'm just had it, so. That's where I'm at. And I'd hope that you would consider my request.
We will look into it and see what we can do. And I, for one, will apologize for not reaching out to you. I should have reached out to you after that meeting. And I just didn't do it because I didn't feel like there was that kind of an urgency. It was, when Bob said there was an ordinance that was a county ordinance, I said, well, let's just adopt that and then we won't have to deal with it. We can just let everybody in town know that here's the ordinance. So I apologize to you for not reaching out to you and saying, hey, your dog was talked about.
Well,
It's-
there's nothing
it's-
we need to adopt, Mark. You need to correct that.
So-
There's nothing we need
So-
to adopt.
So this is,
What Bob's statement is, we've always been under it. We're under it now. We've always been under it. It's a county ordinance.
so now our job then would be
Am I
to
correct, Bob?
educate the community, our town to say, hey, if you have an issue. We have a solution.
This is an
It's
option.
just,
Yeah.
I don't have a problem. I have no problem.
Issue.
Our issue is just.
It's not that.
I think it's a coincidental timing that.
Yeah,
we
because there was, like I
have
said,
been-
we've had
'cause we've been
seven.
talking about this for several years and just had Bob look into it more strategically for, more thoroughly
As-
for us.
So as we.
Over the past 6 months
In the last year, we've put
this is
together
where-
we've put together. All these ordinances for the town because we had nothing. We had nothing to go by.
Is it that, I just,
It's online.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so all of this stuff is online. And so what we've started to do this year is start to tweak some of them.
Yeah.
Because some of them that and we knew this going in. There are gonna be some things that are gonna work fine, but there are gonna be a few things as we go through that we're gonna say, hey, maybe we missed that, or we need to address that a little bit tighter so that we don't have issues. Like there's a couple tonight that we're gonna address. One of them is e-bikes and motorcycles. The other one is RVs or overnight parking on the streets, because quite frankly, it's a safety issue for all of us and for anyone living in town or when you can't get an ambulance or a fire truck to go by because we've got these big pieces or somebody's working on a house and a guy wants to park his trailer out front. Those are things we're gonna say, no, you need to pull your trailer back out of town and then bring it back tomorrow morning. I know it may be a little bit of an inconvenience, but one of the things that came up, that's been coming up was animals, and we didn't know what our options were, and Bob was here at the last meeting, and Bob said, well, there's an ordinance already in place for Boone County, let's just use it. So that's what led to the discussion. And your dog was just one of the examples.
Yeah.
But there's been many over the last year, like I said, including
Mine.
yeah, because I've had several calls. I've had several calls from people in town about Jennifer's dogs, and I've had to call Jennifer and talk to her at the meeting and say, hey, your dog was brought up, so. But we now have an ordinance for that, or we now have an outlet for that. The sewer issue, is on the agenda to talk about tonight and see what we can do to try to figure out what's going on.
So kind of what I hear them saying, I hope, I don't want to speak for you, but is that we all just need to be good neighbors and go to the person. That's what I hear.
And that's the.
And I'm trying
That's
to,
the-
that's what you speak to.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like Mary Ann said, that's the first option, is try and contact the owner.
Yes, I agree.
I think after last meeting, I left the next day.
Fence or whatever.
Yeah,
did
I
that
just-
first,
I thought they-
and
I thought
it's
they did.
big
I thought they
issue.
did.
I did too.
And that's,
Yeah, because I would get in the moment, if you're that scared, you're not going to go talk to the help, you're gonna go to get safety, I get that. And I
I mean,
want you to
if
do
it's a
that.
big issue, call animal control.
Right, and that's-
It's just the dog,
Exactly.
Jennifer's dog's out, take it back, or, if it wouldn't come to you, or at least call her, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I absolutely agree, that's.
I just didn't want, I didn't want phone calls every night say, can you run out and get that dog? Cause I'm not a dog person. And for me to run out and get dogs. We watched their dog one time and it left for, I don't know. They've never asked me to watch their dog
We
again.
got him, we got out.
He was gone forever.
Yeah.
And again, I do apologize. It was my understanding that you were home when it occurred. And that's purely a misunderstanding of
Hey,
hers.
exactly. I mean, I lived for a while. I don't think I'm intimidating by any means, but I mean, just come talk to me. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's just disappointing.
I think one comment I'd like to make here, and Bob, you're gonna have to help me on the law and when this changed. Ulen used to be run by Steve Lewis. In other words, you called him and said, I got a bat in my house. He came over and took care of it. Seriously, I mean,
It happened.
that's the way it was. Now, wasn't it 3 years ago, the state said you have to have elections? We had to be,
It's been longer
Well,
than
it's
that.
been probably 7 years ago.
yeah, we had to have elections and it had to be voted on whenever they had the general election and so forth for officers.
Right.
And I know since then, and I've attended a lot of meetings, it hasn't been an easy thing, and you can attest to it more than the board members, because you're the one that's been having to do it, is trying to get together zoning and everything else in order to,
And we built something out of nothing.
Yeah, there was nothing
to
in
take
place.
care of the people here in their homes so that this area can't deteriorate like some areas do after a period of time when a home sells and this and that. So, that's one of the things that I think that has never really been mentioned as to the amount of time and effort that's been put in to create something to protect us, our homes and our community in the town of Ulen. So
And it's a process.
It is a
I mean, the
process.
first step was, covenants that a lot of, just about everybody signed, with restrictions, the zoning ordinance saying what you can and can't do, what happens, if the golf course sells, that kind of thing. I mean, there are two zoning designations in Ulen, single family residential and the country club, and that's it. You can't have a stop and go, you can't have a gas station, you can't have none of that.
You can't cut hair out of your house, you
Yeah,
can't, we
and
prevent,
so that was the
I mean,
first step. and that was-
we did it
It
because,
was at least an 18-month process. Because along with that, they had to form a planning commission, they had to form a zoning appeals, they had to adopt the ordinance, they had to do rules of procedure for the plan commission and so.
And it's all active, all that's active.
all of it's
That's
active.
active. They had to appoint members to all of that. And then it's kind of like, okay, well, we have to look at some of the other issues going on in the towns. There were no ordinances for any of this stuff.
You could literally build an outhouse in your front yard or a
You could.
shed and we could not stop you.
No restrictions on just about anything. And so there were. And part of it was leak driven, part of it was just general development. It's like, we need to protect Ulen. So that's what they've been working on for the past 4 years,
Yeah, at
5 years,
least, yeah.
6 years, whatever long it's been. So,
And we haven't gotten it all right.
yeah.
I mean, we've
And
made
it's gonna be-
mistakes.
And that's what I told them with the zoning ordinance there. Things are gonna come up, you might wanna change in the future, might wanna restrict things, you might wanna loosen some other restriction.
Yeah.
Those are all living documents, I mean, ordinances they get amended all the time, but we've gotta have a starting place.
So your feedback is important and thank you for
Yeah.
coming and speaking because it will help us do it better next time.
Absolutely.
And one last final comment on the lighter note. If you see Ann wandering out of our yard, will you please call me?
She had an invisible fence.
I don't have an invisible fence, so.
She's not covered by the county ordinance here.
I will say, as far as, my request, for damage, whatever you wanna call it, I do hope you take that seriously and consider it.
Yeah, it's on our agenda to look at. We've got two major projects that we have to look into. One of them is sidewalks for ADA and the other is our storm sewer situation. So Adam DeHart has been working for the last 6 months on a major project for us to lay out all of our utilities throughout the whole town. So we actually have something.
So we know where the sewers are.
So we can take it to somebody and say, hey, here's what we have.
As proactive as
Yeah.
we
I
can since
remember hearing
since-
anything from Westler
well,
directly
since the
about that. We
smoke
tried
test
to
or
follow
whatever
up
kind of
with
brought.
them.
I mean, I'm new to the
They
neighborhood.
sent us a little bit of the report.
Yeah, I
but not
understand,
much.
but
But we have.
But yeah,
Tried
we've
to
never
start
heard back from
that
that. On any of the
process. Maybe
testing.
It's too slow,
they did.
probably is,
Well,
but
they sent us that,
well,
I came from
anytime,
Meridian
but-
Muffler and.
So did
I
I.
just want,
Well, and that's kind of the slippery slope from the standpoint as far as your request is, I think everybody's had water in their basement.
I mean, I know
I don't know where you'd stop and start.
Ray had a lot of water in your.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have.
how much did they spend to try to keep it out and it's still probably,
Because I work the same place that he worked at, everybody talks about how much he put into his basement, I don't know the dollar amount.
Yeah.
But.
Well, and the
What's
Klingler's
up?
just had theirs redone,
Yeah,
And I redid mine years ago.
so.
well,
It's.
I certainly respect that and I understand it, but I hope you do take it into serious consideration
Yeah.
as far as my compensation back, so that's all I'll have to say about it, so.
To kind of wrap up that side of it, there's nothing you need to do.
On the
On the
internet.
end, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yep,
It's already in fact, but I very much encourage Mary Ann's philosophy that the quickest, best resolution is contact the owner.
Yeah.
Or if the owner's not home and slipped out the door or whatever, bring it back. But if it's something that's more emergent or dangerous, then absolute full animal control.
which means we just need to get some communication out about that.
Yeah,
So.
I think that'd be a good idea, put something on the website about that.
What's the
Next.
next thing?
It's the no parking.
No parking? Okay.
Yeah, so this is trailers. Get my glasses on again. It applies to commercial vehicles, recreational vehicles, motorhomes, trailers, and campers, all public streets in the town. From dusk to dawn, overnight is prohibited. And as you all know, we've talked about several times, there's narrow streets in Ulen, and we can't really expand them, and nor would you want to. But if there's an emergency, fire trucks have a tough time anyway, especially if they're bringing a ladder truck in. There's no way they'll make those turns. And if it's just a pumper or emergency response, police cars, okay, but fire trucks are the big one. Possibly ambulances, so. There was, there's been a lot of discussion about prohibiting those on the street. Park them in your driveway if you want.
I can barely get around in my car.
Yeah,
I'm
in
like,
your car, hold on, imagine
Yeah,
an ambulance.
yeah, that's not like
Or
I,
heavens, a fire truck.
Right.
Yeah, it just isn't gonna happen. So, that is ordinance, I didn't remember it. So I don't know what number it is.
You know, what
26.
number, 26 dash.
I don't know what the number is yet. We haven't, when we sign it, I usually,
Well, you can just write the number in. But
Yeah.
it's a title and ordinance restricting the parking of motor vehicles and trailers on public streets in the town of Ulen, Indiana. So the parking of commercial vehicles and recreational vehicles, motorhomes, trailers, and campers on all public streets in the town from dusk to dawn overnight is hereby prohibited. Penalty for a violation shall be a penalty of $25 fine for the first violation, the second violation in a calendar year, and all subsequent violations shall be a penalty of $100. The violation shall be the responsibility of the vehicle owner. On the third violation, the town may have the offending vehicle towed at any expense. Fine did not pay within 30 days, the town may file an action in county courts to collect the fines. If such legal proceedings are instituted, the owner of the vehicle shall be responsible for filing fees and attorney's fees to the town. And the ordinance may be enforced by any elected official in the town or by any officer, the Lebanon Police Department, or the county sheriff's office.
This does not count cars parked on the street.
No, just large.
That, well, yeah, that's.
It is.
We talked about that last time, so what we would like to do.
We thought we'd knock out the
If this is
low hanging
adopted,
fruit.
is to put together maybe just a little bit of.
Yeah, something that we could send out just to the town and say, hey, just, what? If you can, please park your vehicles in your driveways. We know it's not all, we know you're gonna have guests some nights that are gonna park out front and things.
What are you gonna do like when the club has events and they park all the way down to my house?
So we
This
have,
is overnight.
this is just,
Overnight.
yeah,
Oh, overnight.
this is overnight only, and this is just for large
Okay.
commercial.
phasing around like the circles, cause that's hard to even get through the circle. and
So
there's
we
car.
have worked with the club and a whole separate thing, and we've made signs, and signs work most of the time. We have talked about painting the sidewalk yellow
Yeah.
on one side. That is something that we are looking into. We feel that may be something that we have to do in order to, biggest issue is sometimes around the corner at East Drive, 6 to 10 feet back, I've got signs made that said no parking here in the corner. The pro shop doesn't always put them out.
Yeah.
And so you get a guy that parks right up to the corner and now you can't get an ambulance, right? So we're looking into different remedies, they've always said we don't want to paint our curbs, but I think it's to the point now where, we have to do something for safety reasons.
This is the first bite at the apple.
Yeah.
Trying to address really big public safety issues.
Yeah.
On dusk, that type of thing, trailers, campers, all that.
Yeah.
If cars continue to become a problem, then they look at that in the future.
So we're trying to be as easygoing and fair, and we want to make this community not something that people are like, I don't want to move in there. They've got so many rules and regulations that we can't even walk down the street. We're not trying to do that. But we are trying to make sure that if something happens to somebody, they do get the help they need, because we've.
Fire truck and
Yeah.
ambulance too.
So that's basically that's what this ordinance is. It's just large vehicles. RVs, trailers, something that somebody would leave on the road overnight. And this just says, that's not allowed anymore. So,
It seems like a majority of the time when they do have a big outing, it seems to always fall, a majority of them on a Wednesday.
Yeah, most of their big outings are Wednesday.
Yeah, and see, that's the same day we have trash scheduled. And I know the guys on the trash truck have had trouble getting to some of the trash cans or getting through because there'll be some people that'll end up parking on the other side. So I don't know if Mr. Smith would be willing to change it to like a Tuesday.
No.
We
And
can
something like that,
yeah.
that might be something to
has he
consider.
mentioned the problem to you?
Since it's not
It's
waste
not,
management.
but it's a good idea.
Yeah.
And a lot of times he comes in about 5 o'clock. I mean, I've noticed
Yeah, he's,
Yeah, it does come.
during the summertime, he
They
comes
have
in.
Maybe that's why, to
Yeah.
avoid the parking.
Yeah.
usually, he used to come all the time between around 2:30 and 3.
Yeah, I
Cause
think,
I'd always take water out to them and.
I think during golf season, they adjust that a little
They
bit.
adjust.
And, and they're really fantastic with what they do. They take stuff that normal trash people would not.
We're very fortunate.
And the other day, I just turned 80 and the other day I took my trash out and I was standing there at the curb and I looked around and nobody else had their trash out. And then I realized it was Tuesday. So I'm standing there and Mr. Smith's son was driving and he was backing in to pick up the trash here at the club. And he looked over at me and he said, I understand, just leave it. I'll get it on the way out. That's good. So,
That was very nice.
So if you are so inclined, to vote on it tonight, that'd be the first reading of the ordinance number 2026 dash. Whatever Marion says. No parking.
And
I think it
anybody
covers what we needed to cover.
want to make a motion?
Motion that we vote to accept parking ordinance 2026, whatever it is.
Okay,
Second,
we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
sorry.
Okay, so motion carries this one.
You can't adopt it on the first reading.
We can't?
Unanimous. You can.
Okay, it's unanimous. Yeah. Okay, so this one gets adopted this evening, so
Okay.
we will put a note out to everybody, probably send a letter out with the ordinance.
28.
So the next one is the e-bike ordinance.
Hold on a second, Bob.
Oh, sorry.
I don't get signatures now,
Oh.
another month.
Oops.
One of the other issues we've had in town, unfortunately, has been e-bikes and running all hours of the night and day. And so we asked Bob to look into e-bike ordinances and we wanted to stay similar to what Lebanon did and so, or is going to do. So I think
They have already adopted theirs. This is almost identical with the exception of, I did add the definition of the class 1, 2, and 3 e-bikes, although I'm not sure that's terribly helpful, but it can be. I know Jennifer had sent an email, and I'm sorry I didn't reply earlier. I just saw it before it came. Does not apply to motorbikes, mini bikes or anything.
So-
E-bikes are very specific. You have to have pedals on.
e-bikes have to have pedals. So anything that doesn't have to have pedals is considered a motorcycle, even if it's got an
considered
electric
a
motor.
motorcycle, just state law, that's completely.
In the classifications,
Yes,
does it go by wattage or something like that?
well,
Because,
no, it goes by miles per hour.
okay, well, that's kind of what,
Yeah.
there's on those e-bikes, there's a thing.
Yeah.
So,
So the e-bikes, so a class 1 is. Provides assistance only when the operator is pedaling and ceases to provide assistance after 20 miles an hour. Class 2, it may be used exclusively to propel, so it doesn't have to provide pedaling. But it also cuts off at 20 miles an hour, and then class 3 goes up to 28 miles an hour. That's the way, that's all straight from state.
sure,
But mini bikes, motorcycles, all that's completely separate. It's not covered by e-bikes, has to have pedals, which is what I heard the original concern was, is I tried to model this off Lebanon because Lebanon police already inspects them.
Yeah.
They have the permitting, and so I put that in there that your permit is good if Lebanon clerk treasurer issues it, and they're inspected by the Lebanon Police Department. But mini bikes, trail bikes, all that sort of stuff, that's all covered by state law.
Is there an age requirement for the e-bikes?
Yes.
14, I think.
No, it's
14 plus a helmet if you have a valid license. You still have to have an ID.
I have state ID.
You have to have a state ID even if you're 14. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, and I think you have to wear a helmet until 17.
Well,
I get something.
there is a definite problem. Of course, we sit on the front porch a lot. But there's about 6 or 7 of them, and I'm sure they come from additions on outside of, you know.
Yeah, going to the park.
Yeah, and also, Mrs. McConnell told me that they come over through the golf course and they like to go down that hill behind her, the path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's something too that the club should look at as far as putting some type of thing in with that, because they just fly through there. Now, the
This will
other,
apply to the golf course.
Yeah, this will apply to golf.
To the extent that they wanna call in somebody from LPD to enforce it, they certainly could.
the funny thing was, Bob, I called the mayor's office yesterday and talked to them. And they said that they had not completed their e-bike thing yet, and that should be done within a couple of weeks. And so I said, and I told them, I said, well, the issue we were having here, and see, they come by my house and they don't even stop at the stop sign, and a guy coming out of the parking lot the other night slammed on his brakes. But as soon as they turn the corner, they pop a wheelie and they go all the way down to the little path that goes into the park.
Yeah.
When they get in the park, as soon as they make that turn on the street, they pop a wheelie again and ride it all the way down that street to the pool. So I told them, I said, I think that you could very easily get the footage from John at the park,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
And from us.
yeah.
In front of your
Right.
house.
And these kids are not over 14 years of age. Now, maybe 1 or 2 of them are.
Okay.
But the rest of them are not.
Yeah, those bikes are the ones that are. They're like motorcycles. They're like a dirt bike.
Those are.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that they can hit the gas and pop up. I mean, that's.
Well, Ben had told me that they had already adopted their e-bike ordinance, but maybe
Okay.
they were just in the process of it. Sure, but he said that's.
Yeah.
So this basically follows suit with what the city of Lebanon is, so that we're all on the same.
Almost
page.
identical.
Okay, so for e-bikes, but if the issue truly is motorbikes, is that then also covered by the county ordinance? I mean, is that something, I mean,
That's state law.
That's state
They're,
law.
it wasn't a motorbike though. These are e-bikes that look like dirt bikes.
But they don't have pedals, so
No,
they are.
no,
So they
I
are.
know that. I know. I'm just saying they're e-bike, but they're like dirt, they.
They're not e.
Well, there's
that's the
battery
thing. If
operated.
there's no pedal, they're not an e-bike, they're a motorcycle, and that's under state law.
Yeah, and that comes
Is that
under,
Even if it's battery?
Yeah.
even
If there's no pedals, it is not an e-bike, it's a motorcycle.
So what is?
State
the-
law says it is a
state
motorcycle,
laws
you have to have
can't
a
really regulate.
motorcycle license.
Anymore than having
Well, then
regulated.
there's a lot of motorbikes.
But we can regulate bicycles, but we can't regulate.
Motorcycles.
Yeah.
but
So-
isn't there a minimum age for a motorcycle?
Yes,
Or a motorbike,
Yes.
and
What
what,
would that be?
18?
you have to
Well,
have
that number one, they'd have to have the,
motorcycle endorsement.
yeah, and they'd have to have a helmet if they were a certain age.
Got driver's license.
So anybody that's that's driving one of those little motorcycles with no pedals, those, you can call the police and they should act on that because that is state law.
Yep.
What if it's on their property?
If it's on their property, you can't really.
Yeah.
Well. Yes and no. Yes and no. I mean, there's always ordinances and nuisances and things like that. If it's on private property, there's no light you can do. Strictly private property. If they go out on the road, that's a different story,
Or sidewalk.
or sidewalk.
Yeah, they cannot go on road or sidewalk.
Yeah, and the really dangerous, JR Service was telling me about 3 months ago, a kid one of the electric bikes was messing around on the street over there where he lives and he flipped it and crashed and he suffered some severe injuries from it. So, you know, I'm afraid that's what's gonna happen here.
Well,
And then you're gonna have crazy parents and unethical attorneys that are gonna try to sue the town of Ulen and so forth and everything.
Yeah.
I don't really feel bad because they get mouthy with him, but you know, these guys, they're pretty mouthy.
The kids are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'd be different if they're just riding through, you know, like maybe you know, number one, they're cutting through from over there, you know,
Also,
so. you got
they
power
come
force.
through, I mean, we're a straight shot now, I mean, that's
Yeah,
straight
make
shot.
sure they.
I see the speeding cars, and I hold it.
And I haven't,
they don't
I haven't,
stop at a stop sign.
yeah, I haven't
at
really
all.
talked to, I can,
I
can check with- I can check with the sheriff's department and the police. I don't know if they monitor those or they just start turning them on to them right now.
they can
I know LPD is aware of the issue,
Okay.
I mean. I live just down the street from Doc Service and they're just flying all
Right.
the times.
And it's an issue in all towns.
Yeah.
It's not just Lebanon, it's not just Ulen.
We just,
We're on a listserv and everyone is like really clamoring to try to, because they're quiet and you don't hear them either.
Flying down at 40 miles.
Coming,
so
which is another thing. If your car doesn't alert you when something's coming, you don't hear them and they're so small.
Yeah.
So that's-
Back right out and they're gonna
that,
flip over.
this will cover anything with pedals. Anything without pedals is state
That's state law.
State law covers that.
We can't cover motor vehicles, parking. But yeah, we can't regulate or enforce those.
Oh, they go more than 20 miles an hour.
Yeah, okay, you'll hear it.
Yeah.
So what I would suggest, if you're in the mood to adopt that tonight, let me send you another one for signature, because I still got draft on. Yes, I mean, we can go on.
Okay. All right.
Signature paycheck draft.
It is not attached. Oh, yes, it
When I
is.
have the.
Yeah, it's got draft on
But it
it.
has draft on it.
Want to make a motion this evening?
I make a motion that we accept the e-bike ordinance to match Lebanon's.
Okay.
I second that.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries, all three of us adopted it, so we will get a number and you'll send us a,
I'll send you one without the one.
okay,
Send it to Mary.
okay. Did you heard anything on, the
Interlocal.
interlocal agreement? Still nothing, okay.
Anything we can do to move that along? I mean, it's been a year.
Is that a commissioner
It's a commissioner thing,
that they have to approve?
and it's sitting on the desk, last I heard.
Okay,
It's forwarded on to them and put it on the agenda.
okay, I'll call Scott.
Scott,
Yeah,
that would be a good thing to do.
okay, I'll call Scott.
They got a pretty good attorney, don't they?
Say something?
No. They just need commission.
I'm sorry. Anything else for me? Please.
Thank you very much.
Wait, we do have one. It's kind of new business, but I just want to get your opinion. Our entry sign, there's some trees behind it.
Oh, that's right.
And we have had conversations, and Joe, I don't want to misspeak here, but with the homeowner and about removing those trees. But it's on their property and within the easement area. And the town's gonna pay for it.
It's within the easement for the sign.
Well, except for one, correct? There's
Except-
one tree that's outside the easement area that we've agreed to kind of also as.
She doesn't want to.
No, she's
No,
okay.
She's okay with it. She's okay with it.
Right now, she's okay.
But just kind of as we move forward and we get the quote and we sign it and we get people out there working, we want to make sure that we have something where she's consented to us doing this on her property, since our easement really is a sign easement, not necessarily the right to remove trees. Do we need to have something completely separate, or could she just sign the quote, removing those trees and say, I as the property owner consent?
That
For-
would probably be acceptable, if you're comfortable with that. I
Okay.
generally would recommend a consent for encroachment, which I can put together for you.
But it's not an encroachment.
Well, it is, because they're coming on her property to cut down the trees.
Well, that's the one tree. The other ones are in the easement area, but again, the easement doesn't necessarily give us the right to
Well,
remove.
then they're encroaching.
So,
If it doesn't
Okay.
give you the right to cut down trees. Yeah,
So,
but that's okay, that's easy.
yeah, no, I just, about 4 hours ago, I talked to the people that are taking care of Sarah again. And I've been communicating with them. They have talked to her twice about this. So after we met with Josh this morning and going through what needed to be done, I called them again and went through it with them and everything. And she is totally it is accepted of this.
Yeah.
Now, my thought, what I would like to do to protect them as her caretaker and us as a town, if there could be a letter sent to her indicating that the town of Ulen is going to utilize the easement part and therefore removing the trees and so forth, and then going to be replacing them with the same type of shrubbery that is on the other side of the street, which she thinks is fantastic.
Okay.
And then if they sign it,
Side?
yes.
Yeah.
And if she signs that and we sign it, then everybody's in agreement that that can be done. Now, will that then constitute a legal contract or agreement or whatever you want to call it?
The letter of intent, but I'd feel more comfortable with the consent to encroach also. Yeah, I
Okay,
just include that with the letter.
yeah, I think,
If you want.
Okay.
to.
I think
I
just to protect everybody.
Yeah.
yeah, I think
Um,
protect them, protect the town,
Yeah,
because, on a, she can turn on a
Yeah.
dime.
that's what I've heard.
Yeah, so if you'll do that,
Okay, yeah, just get the
In-
full name, address, all that sort of stuff, and I'll put together a letter.
We probably also need to have a copy of the insurance that the company that's taking down the trees
Yeah,
has, just to make sure that it's
providing
in,
everything.
it's in effect, so that if something were to happen.
Reputable company.
It's Indy Strong, Josh Hobson. So, yeah, they do a tremendous amount of work.
Yeah.
On places.
Yeah, just give me all the
okay, we'll get that for you.
information. I'll
Sorry,
put
I know
together.
that was new business,
No.
while Bob was here.
Yeah. We want to make sure we covered that tonight.
Actually, I had a question for Bob as well.
Oh,
We've been hearing from AIM a lot of information about the must process. And they said, be sure you contact your attorney when you start doing these meetings. What is it that we would need to engage you for? And is that something?
You don't really need me for that.
Okay.
I know the county council is just starting to put together these, but they haven't. Anybody, because it's every municipality plus. the
Right,
county.
well,
And trying
we've
trying to
attended.
schedule meetings.
We went this morning.
We went this morning to the county council meeting.
Okay.
They adopted the next 2 years of the
Fire thing.
lit fire safety.
Yeah, it's, yeah, I think it might be for any.
So
But I
the-
mean, I'm happy to participate if you want, but if you went to the council meeting this morning.
Okay, because I know at some point we have to,
We have to petition.
Petition.
Before November 1st. Are they going to provide us what that petition looks like?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay,
I think
okay.
that makes
okay,
sense.
if not,
That'll
if
come from
not,
the LGF.
Yeah.
Okay.
What the petition looks like, and I would just recommend you ask for the maximum levy. Everybody else is.
Yeah,
Every municipality is gonna ask for the maximum levy,
Yeah.
and why wouldn't you?
Right.
right.
So. but
Okay.
so,
I'll walk you through that, but it should probably come from DLGF after they are close to when they adopt the budgets, which is September. So,
Okay.
Okay.
but I'll help you through it if you need me. Okay.
I
I
just
mean,
didn't
we don't
know
have
if
any
there was-
choice. We
I
have,
was-
we're the under 3,500.
Nobody's ever gone through it. Another great mandate legislature.
Yeah.
Really think through it very well.
Okay.
Just one more question. If can we get this done within a short period of time for Sarah? Because they indicated that they could start this in approximately 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
And when they come in,
We'll send you the
it'll only
information
be here
tomorrow.
for about
Yeah.
4 hours to take all of that out of there.
Just give it.
Grind out the stumps and everything.
I might get it to you early next week.
And should we send it certified or can we
Yeah.
hand carry it?
Carry it.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll go over all their photos.
okay,
Nobody ever checks for certified.
okay.
No. It's never good news.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
So, I guess to give what we were just talking about, the state's changing some of the funding that we receive as a town, the way we get it. We don't know what that change is gonna be. We don't know if that's gonna lower or raise the amount we get, but we get a fairly significant amount of local income tax that as part of our budget. So the gist, I guess, of what I got this morning, if you want my opinion, is that they're trying to move to bigger government and eliminate smaller ones like us. So there is a chance in the future, probably sooner than we thought, at least I ever thought, that they may come to us and say, you need to become part of Lebanon because you're not gonna get any more tax dollars. That's not, they haven't said that, but that's kind of the way they're forcing smaller communities together to talk, to figure out how they're gonna work together. One of the big ones right now is the fire department there's one in Thorntown, one in Advance, and one in Jamestown. And the council basically said today was, while it's great that you have three, you really need to have one. And you need to figure out what that's gonna look like. And so, just, that's just my opinion of this morning's meeting, was that I can see a time down the future where they may look at the town of Ulen and say, you're really, it's really not a necessity for you guys to be a town. You're too small. You need to be, absorbed into Lebanon. And at that point, I don't think it's our choice. I think it's gonna be probably something the legislature enacts and says, anybody that's this size goes. Yeah,
I think that some things that I heard in the discussion, when they were doing the legislative updates, they said that, there's some towns being considered, but it's the towns that are not using their tax dollars well or are not managing them well that they're looking at. I don't think that's the case for us.
correct. Yeah, I hope that, and we feel like we try to be good stewards of the tax dollars that we have. We've tried to, as you say, we have a balance close to over 400 some thousand that we know is gonna either go towards the sewer project or another project, depending on what we determine. So we have the funds to do some of this stuff that we've built up the last couple of years. We depleted quite a bit of it when we did the electrical project, when we were down under half of that. And so we've the last 3 years, we've tried to build some of that back up because we know this project is gonna happen. And, we know we have an issue.
Now, when we accumulate that money and we decide that we're gonna do a project, do we have to have,
It's gotta be in the budget, so
it's
we
gotta be in
budget
the
it for
budget
the
and it's
following
gotta
year.
be verified through the state of Indiana that that's in the budget and that's what it's used for.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right.
Right, it has to be appropriated for the specific
Use, yeah.
activity. But there's flexibility within that. I mean, I took a look at this last 7 years in preparation for these discussions. And we typically, every 2 or 3 years, we take on an infrastructure project. And then between that, we save money. And by doing that, we actually help keep the coffers more full because we make interest on those investments
Right.
while we wait.
Right.
But any one infrastructure project can easily be 6 figures, and we don't have that many 6-figure dollars in the
Right,
bank. We keep maybe
Our goal,
quarter of a million sort of invested.
we've tried never to borrow.
Right.
And, at least that was what Steve and Steve Million and Steve Lewis, their goal was to always be able to make it operate the best they can without having to, because once you borrow, the accounting side of it
is a nightmare.
Well, you're just like a full town now. There's a lot more involved in what we would have to do each meeting. And it, I don't know that it would, from a from the financial side of it, I don't know that it would benefit us to go in to take on debt. I think it would cost us more. And I don't know that we'd have enough tax money to take on very much debt and service it properly. I'm not saying we couldn't, but you're probably talking about a 20-year, note that you'd have to figure out how to pay it on. So our goal is, as always, as long as I've been involved and I know, before me, try to figure out a way to generate enough of this money, put it back, and then when we have enough that we can do a project, let's do the project and get it done.
And seek grants to also
And
try
seek
to help.
grants,
Yeah.
and seek grants at the same time.
Right.
And the road
And
work,
we've
the road
had
work that
grants
we,
in the
yeah,
Grants have been.
the road work we've done the past couple of years has all been grant money. So, we've taken a $50,000 to $100,000 project and paid 25 for it. Because we've used federal grant.
Which a lot of towns can't do, though. They don't have the people available to help them write the grants.
Or they don't qualify. I mean, there are some for smaller towns
Right. depending
versus what like
population.
Lebanon might be able to do, or Zionsville.
What's next on?
Okay, so the next one, just an update on the BZA interlocal agreement. I meant to ask, I thought Bob was gonna give thought to what would the enforcement and the court system. We talked about needing to know how that was gonna work. And I thought he was gonna do a little digging for us.
Oh, well, I need to reach out to Scott Pell, and let me reach out to Bob after I do that.
Okay, all right, otherwise, I did look at the comments that Kent made, and, he has some good observations and some things there that I learned from his comments, but he didn't actually change the document, so I gotta go in there and mess with it some more, so. Anyway. The next item is the, status of the landscaping work, which we've sort of talked about, in the review of vendor recommendations. We didn't talk about.
I saw the layout of the plans. I haven't had time to look at it. Sorry, I saw the layout of the
So-
plans, he said.
We're still working on the entryway. We've got the signs up, and now we're working on the plant. So one of the biggest parts of it, I think we've accomplished with the help of Joe, is figuring out what we can do on that east side, and our goal now is with Sarah's permission is to take out those trees and duplicate what we've got on the west side, on the east side from near the corner. We'll probably won't go all the way to the corner because we want a line of sight. Cause in the past, that was the biggest issue, was we had a big pine tree there, and we had to have line of sight, but we're gonna take that out and duplicate what we did on the west side, on the east side, all the way to the sign. And then at the sign, we've had a landscaper that's done some of that work to clean stuff up, put together a design of plants around the sign, and part of it includes a retaining wall because there's such a steep drop off on the east side of that sign. So we had a layout originally when we did the whole sign present thing, but the way the sign ended up, the angle of the sign changed. So it's changed the look of what we could put. If we went back and put the exact thing that they did, it wouldn't have matched up, and it wouldn't have been centered on the way the sign is centered. So we've had that redone. So we have a couple proposals tonight. One is a proposal to tear out and mulch the east side and tear out everything around the sign and prepare it for plants. And that was,
So I don't have the proposal for labor. I have the proposal for the plants.
I thought you had the proposal just for labor. That was,
All I saw was the plans.
All I saw was the plans.
so he gave you,
He said he was working on it, but I haven't seen the labor.
And my concern with the proposal for the plants was some of it was kind of grass.
and the
And
grass
things
is
that are
about
taller.
2 foot.
It's about 2 foot. I
Yeah.
looked
I
at.
just want to make sure that it doesn't obstruct your line of sight. I mean, that was the
Yeah.
whole purpose of turning the sign and kind of moving it back so that when you pull up, you can see people coming
Yes, so the,
from
so
the
the.
Elm Swamp direction.
So I've got quote numbers on here. Quote number 68 says the plant delivery and installation services. So we would buy the plants. He would install the plants.
Okay.
So that's the plant delivery and installation services associated with plants that are detailed in the quote. And then the service includes the provision and installation of the retaining wall material necessary and necessary draining solution.
Okay,
To
you
go
did
with
not
that.
send that to me, so if you could forward it to me, I would appreciate
Okay,
it.
so that is $24.50 for him to do that, to get it prepped for the plants and to install the plants.
About what he said it was gonna be.
2,000
Yeah,
with a retaining wall.
yeah,
Oh, with the retaining.
with the retaining wall.
Okay,
Retaining wall.
And the plants. I can't remember, I have the plants quote in here somewhere.
He's got time to do it in the next 30 days. Our problem is we have to get it approved. So we either approve it tonight or we wait till the next meeting. So that's why I'm going through all this. So,
Yeah,
one other thing I wanted to mention that Josh talked to me about after you left. He looked at the arborvitae that are on the side next to the park. There are at least two, maybe three that are staked and they got cords holding them. It's gonna kill those. The cord is real tight. It's gonna choke that tree down.
okay,
And so he said they actually needed to be dug around, rotated, because he said the plant was put in crooked. You
okay,
know, he looked at him and he said, and so he said, the other thing, there was a couple there that looked like they're dying,
yeah,
and he said they will. But he said on the other side, on Sarah's side, he said, what you should do is you should put in the 8 foot. Because he said they're more mature, and he said they fight disease, they can handle a lot of things, and he said they'll last a long time.
right,
Now, he's not selling trees, because he doesn't sell trees.
right,
He's just saying that that's what he would do, is use the 8 foot. And that would be the other thing, would give Sarah her privacy too,
okay.
that she wants. So that was his suggestion. I'm just throwing it out to you.
I appreciate that, because we can definitely,
And we talked about putting a
Yep.
strip of side in there. And I
yes,
think another reason that this letter from Mr. Clutter is gonna be very important is for the time you put the sod in and you put the small bushes and then you put the trees in, you've exceeded that 6 foot easement a good piece.
yeah,
And so, you know, I think she'll be totally happy and will sign off on it if when they send the letter to her, it states in there that you're going to
duplicate,
you're gonna duplicate, you're gonna put sods, you're gonna put the bushes, you're gonna put the arborvitae and then mulch it.
Yeah.
And so forth, so. That way there's no questions from her and the people take care of, I talked to them and they said it's great. They said, and because they're possibly gonna put that house up for sale shortly, I don't know how much longer. She can stay at home, she doesn't get out of bed hardly at all. So-
Realtor.
so we got, so. Okay,
Be incredibly busy in this neighborhood.
okay, so the entryway, let me just go through all this and we'll add it up at the end. So the entryway, we've got the $24.50 to do the cleaning up, the mulching, the retaining wall on that side. On the other side, what's it? So he hasn't given us the plant quote so we're still on the east side. The quote to install and do the mulch beds and do that to, once we have the trees out, to do all that's $15.85. To get all that, to install those plants, if we wanna go 8 foot, he'll install the 8 foot, so that's $15.85.
That's a fair price.
Including the plants,
No,
No.
not including the plants.
there's an 8 foot one will.
Okay, on the other side, if you're driving out of Ulen, there is a small sidewalk that goes into the park, into our drive. that should never have been put in because it's really,
It goes nowhere.
it goes nowhere and it's not safe.
Yeah.
So what I've done is I went to the city and I went to the park and said, hey, would you be, because if you're going the other way, it goes across the street to where the other sidewalk is. If you go towards our road, you're just going walking right in the road. So I've asked him if, for the approval to tear that out. They've given me approval to do that. So his quote to tear that out and then to resod that's 1520. And he would do, and there's also, he's got to bring in a big piece, he's got to bring in a bobcat with a breaker hammer. On the other side, back on the east side behind the sign, when they did the sign, they left a giant piece of concrete.
Yes.
That's got to be removed too. And so he would remove that at the same time he's removing the sidewalk.
Just I want to elaborate a little bit more on the removal of the sidewalk. The biggest reason we want to do that is we want to paint a stop block. And most people now, you have to pull up way past that sidewalk to be able to see who's there. And by law, the stop block has to be behind a sidewalk. If a sidewalk exists, if we can get rid of the sidewalk, we can now put the stop block
Where it belongs.
where it belongs. So you only have to pull up once. You don't have to pull up, stop. And then by law, you have to pull up and stop again. Or you could get a ticket. So that's the real reason behind removing the sidewalk.
And I think one other area of concern, and 5 or 6 times I've seen people almost get hit, but basically kids on bicycles. They come out of the park on that little path. They do not stop at all and they ride right out in the streets. So there's no, and for about 2 weeks, there was a little gal, a teenager that would drive her car through there, and that's why those,
Oh, my gosh.
yeah,
Not
those
really, but
flowers on the side were worn down, yeah.
I've seen people do
Yeah,
it when they first put it in, but I haven't
so,
seen
but
it.
if there's some
Yeah,
way,
we will, when we do the white stripe there, we'll do the white stripes from the park over.
okay, I think.
Put it back after
But
they
yeah,
sealed the street, it went over and
Yeah.
made it all black.
yeah. And that's the other part to that is that when we are looking at probably putting yellow curbs around our corners in certain areas, because from a safety standpoint, to get vehicles during golf outings, if we don't put yellow curbs in, they're gonna park in it,
Okay,
and I
now,
can't stop them.
a question that I have about that, and I've often wondered. On sidewalks. Like where Dan and Marta live. And people walk that sidewalk and they wanna come across the street onto where my sidewalk is. You know,
So that's part of another project is ADA compliant.
compliance, yeah.
So we're looking into possible grants to do our corners ADA
Yeah.
compliant.
And we would probably then need a crosswalk there at
Yeah.
Artman Avenue.
Yeah,
So there's a whole nother, there's 2 big projects.
there's a lot of stuff on the
Yeah,
plate.
yeah. But we, after tonight and after the discussion, I think probably the larger project and the most desperate need is looking at what we can do to at least clean what we can out of the sewers that are in there now. And then if we decide we can line some, we line some. So anyway, back to the entryway. So my total right now I have on the entryway is 94.27 plus plants on the one side. So 94.27 includes the plants at the entryway, does not include the plants to match the one side.
Okay, so we're gonna need maybe
Just
11,
12,
12
12, yeah, 11, 12, my guess
Now,
is
did you include?
12,
Joshua?
5,
Did you?
yes, 3K
Yeah.
for a tree removal, yep.
Now, when he takes that out, if you notice that big tree close to the sign, it says behind it, it's got all that huge ivy and stuff growing up on it, which is gonna kill that tree. He said in probably about
Right.
3 years. There's also one big dead limb hanging up there now. So
What tree?
the one
Tree
right
right
behind
behind
the sign is on
Oh, is it that
Sarah's.
one they're taking down?
No,
Or no?
No, it's a big one right behind the sign.
Yeah.
So they're going
ivy
to,
taken off of.
they're gonna go down and cut that big ivy off down below the ground, and they're gonna take that all off of the tree, and that's included in the 3,000.
Yeah.
So that in 2 or 3 years, we don't have to worry about that tree falling over on the sign because it's dead.
So my thought would be that, my proposal would be that we consider a motion to spend no more than 15,000 to finish the entryway sign. And it would,
Does that
that,
include lighting?
That's what I was gonna say, we'll. need
that would
lighting.
probably be enough to include lighting, because that would be another $2,500, and we shouldn't have to spend $2,500 just to do lighting. The only thing that might have to come beyond that, if we decide, would be water on that side. If we have to bore, we may end up, if we get to a point where, if you wanna get it finished and be done with it forever, you gotta get water on that side, cause you gotta water the beds in front of the sign and you gotta water down the street. So for now, to get to a point where we are done except for the water issue, I would say it's about 15 grand.
So there is one possibility. Gabe took on the cost of sodding and mowing and managing and laying the irrigation
Yeah.
on the south side. If we build a budget that lets us pay for it, but then find out that he can do some portion of that, that would help us offset some costs.
I would need to get a quote on the boring before I do anything. So I could do that by next meeting, but I want to at least get this part done, because the guys, both of them have time to do it the next 30 days and get everything where it looks nice.
Are we concerned if we get plants and we don't have water, that they're not going to survive?
We don't have to do the planting.
We can still run a hose across
Yeah.
the street, because
We-
there is a hose
A faucet.
right in front of the historical marker,
Okay,
and there's a faucet there.
So, but we can not do the planting on her side till maybe September, if we want to hold off.
well, I'm not suggesting we hold off, I just wanna make sure we don't expend and plant, and then we get to August and everything's
No,
dead
yeah.
because there's no water.
Right. I got you.
I mean, that would be that's my
I
only concern.
totally understand.
We have water right across. the
If we
street.
can
Yeah.
get water to
Yeah.
it.
We just need to make sure Tabor knows.
Yeah,
Okay, and Tabor's the one who's doing that?
he would, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
right.
So that's my proposal, is I'd say 15, well, not no more than 15 to try to finish the entryway with the plants and the
Plant and
project
lighting.
and lighting.
Has Setco looked at that yet? Or not?
No, but the electrical's right there. It's not gonna take
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, I mean, just like what kind of lighting are we gonna, the uplighting?
It just
or
needs to
whatever?
be,
I didn't wanna,
there was a design, it was in the design.
yeah,
was it,
the
wasn't
hard
it?
part, the hard part was until you get the plants in place, you don't know where you can put the light.
Right, no.
Cause you want the
I-
plants to be, you
Yeah.
can move the lighting and
Yeah.
still get the same effect, but if you don't put the plants where they
Yeah,
look
no,
right,
we need to know.
you're
where
just gonna
the
look like
plants are
hodgepodge
before-
plants. You're gonna look like my yard.
Yeah, no, it's the last thing for sure.
All right, I make a motion that we approve up to 15,000 for plantings and the lighting
Okay.
and get them going, because it definitely needs,
And the tree trimming and the.
Yeah.
and the tree trimming, yes,
Sidewalk.
Everything on the wall.
and the sidewalk.
Yeah, second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi,
Ah.
Yay.
Oh.
And Josh,
I'd like to see the.
Josh
I
will
don't
take
like the
care.
grasses. I'd like everything else in that drawing.
I'm just afraid,
I
I've seen
think they're
so
gonna
many
get too
signs,
big.
I think they are too.
Oh, you want me to call?
No, Josh. will
Josh will
take-
call.
He calls and make sure.
I'd rather
he
have
knows
something
there's
that's just.
nothing
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
I would
there
love-
there are grasses that are shorter, but.
But
I
they're
also
not very
have,
high.
so have
I think
grass
we
in my
need,
yard that's not supposed to get 10 feet tall. and it
I
is.
would not go with the grasses.
okay,
Everything,
can adjust.
everything else is fine.
that's
Yeah.
fine. You guys can decide what you want in there. It won't bother me
Yeah.
one bit.
Yeah,
just
and I
gotta get the
haven't had
project
time to
ready.
look at it really to see, but I did check the grass and I'm like, it's too tall.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, awesome. Thank you all. That was a big relief.
All right.
Bigger than you ever know.
The next thing is the technology project, and the only thing I need is I have brought a printout of the his proposal with a signature block and the new language that in the amendment that I forwarded to you, so We never did sign his agreement. We need to sign his agreement, and then the amendment here is tacked onto the end, and that just includes that.
So we've already approved this. I'm just signing.
I can,
Yeah. The original stuff that he's
Yeah.
done, and then this is
Yeah.
the privacy
yeah.
and non-disclosure stuff that if he has access to assist,
Yeah.
he agrees not that we have. a
To
whole lot of-
share.
Yeah, well, or to keep copies and
Because he was getting into everybody's email next week, I thought it might be a good idea to.
necessarily know that we have anything that's complete.
Yeah.
Non-public information. Our budget is public, our financials are public.
Okay. We'll find this one. Right here.
Just do email, I'll attest to the bottom of that. It's good, I think.
Oh, just Mark needs to sign it.
Yeah.
Since it's a contract, okay.
Okay.
Sealant repair.
Sealant repair project. So as some of the areas around, especially around Joe's house, we've had some of the sealant that was repaired last year heal up. They're coming back Friday to do some of those repairs and any repairs we have around through the neighborhood. So
Okay, so you'll send another notice out to
Yeah.
people.
they were supposed to come today, but because we had
Rain.
rain yesterday, it's gonna be Friday.
And the biggest thing is people like you that have lawn sprinkling
I'd
systems.
already turned mine off because I thought they were coming today.
Well, they were going to try
Yeah,
and they said, and he sent an email, this afternoon? or
Yeah.
something, and
Seven
then-
o'clock, it was like 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we're not gonna come. It was like, okay, well, at that point, everybody's already turned them off.
Okay.
So if you could please leave them off through Friday and then give the sealant an opportunity to adhere. And I
Circle
don't,
repair.
do we have any idea when they can start? I mean,
well, they want to turn them off by Wednesday or Thursday because it has to be dry for them to do that.
Yeah, night before. is
But once they put the sealant down, can they turn them back on that same night?
Yeah, yeah.
Or, okay,
Yeah,
all right, just
yeah.
making sure.
It's that blacktop stuff.
Okay, it dries pretty quickly, okay.
So utility mapping project, I think we already briefly talked about. This is the one, the GIS mapping project that Adam DeHart is working on.
Yeah.
But we really do need for him to get that done so that we can address
Yeah.
the sewer project.
Yeah.
That's been a work in progress for
So
quite a
maybe-
while.
You've been working on it.
More than that,
I think we
probably.
approved it this winter
Okay.
and he started on it this spring.
It's
Circle repair,
repair.
we got 2 spots now to repair. We're just waiting on.
Been going. Just,
Both of them have been notified. Both of them will reimburse us for the repairs. The greatest thing we ever did was put a camera on that light post. Because we've caught everybody so far that's damaged and been reimbursed. So it hasn't cost the town anything.
You ever consider doing something different?
we've talked about bubble wrap and spikes.
The thing, it seems like it get crushed all the time. I didn't know there was some different stone.
So
or
they've been
something. I
there for
don't know.
100 years.
You know, they went
That's
for-
just it. It's like they've been there for
The good
100
news- yeah, the
years.
good
It's
news
like
is it's
nobody
like
ever
that.
hit it before until
And it's
the
like-
last couple of
it's like
years.
every morning.
So do we.
The landscapers still, they don't care.
Yeah,
Need to pay
I
the-
want-
It has been a good source of revenue for us though. So
Yeah,
I-
I'd say, why would you change if there were anything happening?
So,
has there been any obstruction with the flag on the pole there in front of my house blocking the camera?
Once in a while, but not, I mean, the wind blows it away
Okay.
in front once in a while.
So it's more than paid for the cameras.
road signs are up.
They are.
Yes.
The new road signs are up. The new yellow, slow children playing signs are up.
There was a couple of elves out today putting those up.
All the road signs that I have so far are up.
Yay. Do you want me to take the construction things down yet? They're still.
No.
Oh, no, they're still building. They're not even close to being done.
I do have a third one, so if we want to put a third one.
Unless you put it in the middle of the road, I
Yeah.
don't know it's gonna help. I mean, it's just unbelievable how you get.
I work from home and in that center and I watch everything all day and it's just mind blowing.
And that house won't be done until probably at least Christmas.
You know, the
I mean,
guy,
they'll still have construction
They-
people, whether it be.
2 men in a truck
Carpet.
just moved pools in this week and he said, I told him to go the other way and they drove right
Yeah.
down around the
Yeah.
roundabout. Tore up. Is
they were like little kids.
that what they were?
They were young kids. I walked Johnny by and
Okay,
that's why I
the,
knew. I'm like, yeah.
I got an email from Ina asking about the cable,
Oh,
the cable in her backyard.
yeah, I just, somebody was gonna go by and see, let me call MetroNet, maybe it's Metro.
It goes past like
It's,
three.
it's like 3 houses.
Yeah.
And I was gonna be having her.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, it's wrapped, the cable's.
Mark
black.
wrapped it so that
Oh.
people could, did you wrap
I
it?
didn't wrap it.
Oh, I thought
They-
somebody wrapped it because it was on the ground.
Yeah,
And it's like, well, it's gonna get cut and then somebody's
on
gonna
the
be
ground,
without
yeah.
internet or
Yeah.
without electricity.
somebody got new internet, that's the cable. We just don't know who's.
So how do we know who it is, whose it is?
Well, the one behind our house was how many years?
Yeah, too long. I was convinced every.
You're the expert. Can you tell who it belongs to?
We just need for them
Until
to
we cut
finish
it.
burying it. Yeah.
Well, where does it run to?
I think it runs down to, Derek's mom's, maybe.
She doesn't even live there. She's not even here this summer.
I'm pretty sure it's going into that house.
Really?
I can't remember.
They are, so what they do is they send a crew out to run it. And then they send,
Send the
then,
crew out to
then
bury
10
it.
years later, they send a crew out after you've complained to bury it.
I know Ina's gonna have her fence stained or painted or something.
Yeah,
in a
it's,
few
she's worried about
weeks.
that for
Yeah.
that reason. She's
Yeah.
trying to
Okay,
get her
let's keep
done.
it.
Yeah, if it's in her way, tell her to remove it. They'll come back out. I'll call MetroNet.
Might need to give Ina a call too, because she was asking again.
I wonder if it's T-Mobile.
See, T-Mobile is taking over Metro and they're taking over, and I have seen the T-Mobile trucks in town.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Oh, maybe.
So I
it
think
is.
it's T-Mobile that's doing it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll see, do they have an office here in town still?
No, but you can call MetroNet and you can tell them and they'll say, well, we're working with T-Mobile and they're taking over the area.
Okay,
They did that where my son lives down, near the post office.
We talked about the sidewalk and the road cleaning project, so, outcome of police support, I did get a message back from the sheriff on the 4th of July saying
yeah.
nobody could come, so
Yeah.
they weren't
Oh.
even here.
The guy,
Fortunately, it wasn't an
yeah,
issue.
the guy that was supposed to
With the
do it,
rain.
the guy that was supposed to do it got hurt on the job, the Thursday or
Oh,
Friday night
no.
before. He was
The
supposed
day
to,
before,
yeah,
he was supposed to start.
we had,
Oh.
yeah.
Okay,
Well, it rains, so.
then in terms of new business, I had a bullet to talk about the must meetings to the larger group if we want to keep people informed. It's up to you if you want to talk any more about it.
Let's get a little bit more information
Okay,
and then we'll talk about the next meeting since this one's been
okay.
on for a while.
Then the next one is budget. I absolutely have to get your guys' input on budget today because we are on the hook for, the public hearing. the
Next month.
Meeting,
Mhm.
so I think the bottom of that stack is a. It's a copy of it. Everybody else's file. It's on theirs.
There it
I
is.
guess, given Zach's comment, do we need to do anything with regard to
I would say we need to max out what we can,
put in
yeah,
infrastructure?
cause I think even just to try to have somebody come in and vac is probably gonna be, I don't know, if they vac all of them, 50 to 100 grand. Conservatively,
I have no idea.
I mean, we do some vac work with our stations.
It seems like a lot.
Does
Like
the
that whole
Lebanon
town.
own their own back?
I mean,
No,
it's-
because it's a specialized piece of equipment
Right.
to vac gravel. let's
Right.
say. And we don't know what's in there and even, we don't even know how far we can get in.
And I'm fairly confident too that every single one of them's that way. I mean, I have a picture of it. I mean, it's full sediment.
Yeah.
All the way to the top.
I would,
We had cameras that went through them at one point in time, and that's why we've been so adamant about don't plant trees where the utilities are.
I would say,
Because roots have been a big.
what do we have available in our, that we can pull from?
At this point, it's the general fund, because we spent down our cumulative capital development fund on the signage.
Okay.
And then what we have left was that colored thing that's here.
Yeah.
So we'll have still, I think, 200 or so left.
In the general fund?
Well, not necessarily the general fund, but all total
Okay.
of available funds. But if we commit all of that, they may not accept the budget. I mean, they expect you to.
Do we want to commit 100?
We could probably do that.
I mean, I feel like that would help the situation. It's not gonna, we're not gonna tear up and redo, but if we can pull out a lot of the stuff that's in there.
I've
Well,
already,
a lot of what that guy from Westler was saying is, they don't know where these laterals are going and things coming from across the course, but they couldn't get a camera in because there was all that sediment down there. They can't even get in to see, so you can suck all that out and find out. We need another $100,000 for this or that, so I
mean,
mean, it's gotta come out somewhere or another, you gotta clean it
I
out.
mean, there's only so much money we could put into it next year. So if it's a $200,000 project, we're not gonna be able to do it all next year.
Yeah.
So, because we've got other needs. Um,
Can I throw a suggestion out? Would it be possible to talk to the city and see if they are going to be doing anything in the near future? That if that company is there, that maybe the cost would be a lot less if they take care of two things. Like for the city and here both, maybe be one option to talk to them about that. The other thing is, I wouldn't have any problem talking to the people out at Fleur and asking them, because I would say they probably have that type of vehicle that they use out there, and see if they would be willing to, for a minimal fee, come in and do something for to help out the community, which I'm just throwing out ideas. I don't mind begging to people, you know.
I think the first thing is to figure out what we got.
so what I was thinking was, let's contact Westler. I mean, they're familiar with it and they might even be able to help us establish a budget. You know, they'll be able to give us some kind of idea of what that might cost.
They're the experts.
Yeah, but they've never gotten back with us from that one meeting.
Well, I mean,
As far as I know, yeah.
their concern was they weren't working for us, they were working for Lebanon.
Yeah.
Right.
And not, and.
But have they even contacted the homeowners that had?
Yes.
This, I mean, has that all been, I truly don't know. Has that all been
Yes.
rectified where
Yeah,
the?
from my conversation with Ryan, Ottinger, that
Okay,
those people had been contacted.
okay.
But maybe Westler, you know, when I was chatting with them, when they were working in front of my house, they said, hey, you know, if you have questions or you want to talk about, you know, remediation, call us.
Okay.
So maybe they'll at
Okay.
least point us in the direction.
I feel like we ought to at least put 100 down to figure out what we've got. And then if we had, because we can always do an additional appropriation. So if we find out that, hey, it's gonna be 150 or 200, we can go back and do an additional appropriation next year. That's easy. I mean, I've done that before when we did the electrical. I had to go back and get more money. And so,
Or split it over
or split it
some
over.
of it
Yeah.
next year
Yeah.
and some the year
Yeah,
after.
we
that.
can look at certain areas and try to, fix the areas we can. But I think I would feel comfortable putting 100 in there and then knowing that that'll at least get us somebody to come look at it and.
So I had 35 in there thinking we might be starting on the sidewalk project, if you want to defer that for now.
I do,
But we'll put 135 in. for it
yeah,
then.
put 135 in, okay.
May have to. Because it's not a roads project, I'm gonna have to jigger some things, because a lot of our money is sitting in roads and in public safety.
See, I wonder if that is considered a road project, because it's the drainage on the road. A lot of it comes off the road and it fills in, it's those
It's amazing, oh, sure amazing, that are full.
So it's the storm that's the biggest issue, not the sewer. Because I know for a while people had sewer.
Quote us. on
Well,
that.
that's, yeah,
It's,
I mean,
you know,
It's based on conversations with people that have been out there,
yeah,
so.
yeah, so I just know that those main storm drains,
Our
from
fault.
from what he said in that meeting, those are packed full of sediment, and that creates
Yeah.
a problem for everybody. So, you know, as soon as you suck them out, then you're gonna figure out where else you need to go, maybe. I mean, we had guys looking in Chase's yards down that manhole that's in the middle of his yard, it has a water main. Just lift the concrete up, it's right there on that middle part.
Of his lot,
Yeah, cause
the lot next
the sewer
door.
runs right through.
oh yeah, that's why
Right
that's
through.
not, that's why
Yeah,
that
they-
lot
Street.
has never been built on.
But they also ran a camera all the way down and there's a manhole underneath Jason Jones'
Underneath Jason's what?
pool.
Cool.
How'd they do
really?
that?
I mean, there's all kinds
How
of
did he
stuff
build
out
it?
there.
How did he build it? Well, that's, I mean, basically, that's why we hired Adam's company to do this, so we could map this out. We just don't have results back yet on that.
And why now all the improvements have to go through planning and zoning and an inspection so that kind of stuff doesn't happen.
happen.
And the guy that bought Chase's lot said he is gonna be totally responsible for all the utilities and moving it, and that was in the agreement that Chase signed when he sold the
Yeah,
lot.
he called me and asked me if I knew what it was, and I said no, but I've been trying to I've called Adam 3 times.
Well, there's a storm drain that runs right through there.
Yeah.
So the sewer runs towards the corner of Chase's house. And then out there where that water thing was, if you lift it up, there's a big
Meter.
clay pipe way all the way down there. It's got storm water running through from it. I mean, it's just going north-south right there in his lot. So, I mean, I don't,
Well, that's what Adam's
He might
company
wanna
is.
put a yurt out there.
Yeah.
it's, there's stuff running everywhere. I mean, I could, basically though, from, you know, the capacities, the problem, so. When that happens, it backs up, but we don't know where any of this, whose pipes are running where or anything. So,
And again, that's what we hire.
Yeah, that's what we
Adams,
hired
I mean,
Adam to do.
we've hired them. That's what all the flags that everybody wanted to know if they could take up their flags. Was trying to figure out, you know, where are the utilities, where are they going, and get an actual design.
Man,
Where are they at with the mapping? Like, what's the status?
Adam
of
just
it?
came back and he said they've done the field work. And they just haven't put it all
He
together.
says they're doing drawings right now.
Yeah,
So when, do they have an ETA when they're gonna be done? They don't provide that?
no, not in the construction world.
Trying. He said, well, we're really busy and we're, you know, we're doing this around other projects.
we need to let them know that we really do. need
All right.
Yeah, I think I'll use some backup.
Okay.
So I called him twice. And never got a call back. I'll call him again this week.
Anyway, I've got 10,000 here, 20,000 here in a couple of other buckets, but, most of it's gonna have to come out of general fund.
Okay.
For that.
Let's do that. Let's put that in there
Another thing.
and let's see if we can. I'll reach out to some people. We'll reach out to Westfield.
Yeah, I have that as card somewhere, too. I worked on.
Okay, yeah, if you wanna say.
we're talking to John Brain.
Yeah, John was another one on my list. Cause his company originally did this.
Okay. I think that's it unless there's any other new business.
No.
I don't have any new business. Like,
I had just a question about the sidewalk and I read this and it's. Said Mr. Lewis described the last sidewalk project with Wilson Concrete, which involved a 50-50 split with residents for the work. Do you remember who those residents were?
Yeah, it was, if you had more than like 5 squares, we did it based on squares. And that's where like a lot of people, like I know in front of Chase's house, like they they just went ahead and said, we'll put in a whole new sidewalk. The specific
Was that 6 years ago?
Oh,
Oh, no, it's probably been
20.
15 years ago, 15 or 20
Yeah,
years.
when I first moved to town, that was what they were talking about. That was 25 years ago.
Yeah.
They were just,
Everything where it was smooth.
yeah.
You know, a lot of people, like I said, you've put in all new sidewalks.
Yeah.
You did.
Cannons did, I
Yeah.
did. We did in front of my parents' house, in front of Chase's house. I mean, some of them are already redone. This was to level out the
Oh.
old sidewalks. But unfortunately, like people have had work done and they've broken them up and those haven't been repaired either.
And some of them just sank on one side because of trees and so
Right,
one of our thoughts was, you know, let's get a quote to come through and either level out the sidewalks and then pressure wash them and try to get them all similar or to tear them out and we do them sections at a time, but I think that's gonna be put on the back burner for a while. We've lived with it this long, we'll focus on underground issues right now and see if we can help alleviate those. Anybody else have any?
Of course, you know, I always. And maybe this was a question for Bob. Are we going to do anything about contacting people about cleaning up their yards?
Yes, Bob was gonna, let me send him a note, because he was gonna write a letter to, that we could send.
That needs to be done.
Okay.
And I mean, all you have to do is ride your car back there along Elm Swamp Road.
yeah.
It got mowed once,
Oh, but it's
Oh, I don't
completely
think much.
overgrown.
yeah,
That much from the street.
yeah.
They finally propped up that part of the fence that caved in and laid there for about 3 weeks and somebody went into the 2 before and propped it back up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was facing the driveway and so forth. This next to the garage.
Okay, all right.
I should have brought it up when he was here.
Yeah, because we talked about it
Yeah,
at
he
the
was
last
gonna- he
meeting
was-
and he was
He
going
had that
to
on
do
his list to
something.
write a, to send us a, I forget what he called it. It's got a particular name, the letter does.
You're gonna have to put up with my scribbles because that was when you signed that you gave me as an.
Little minutes, she can reattach the signature page.
Anybody else have anything?
Yeah.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, thank you.
And here's your.
we'll work out.
All right,
Oh, our attendance.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate it, thank you.